Today we have the topic again, sorting algorithm. And yeah, last time we ended up with the merge sort, and I had like a lot of trouble, so I want to redo it. Maybe I'm gonna also redo the other algorithms. So sorting algorithms, sorry. And yeah, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, sorry for my bad English, by the way. So this was the magic of the sorting algorithm last time. I was not able. Oh, that's the unfinished version. Give me a second. I need the finished version. I think I have it in my Discord. So let me see. 1 second. It is already like the perfect preparation for. Next time I should prepare for going live, right? So we have this one, the merge sort. So someone of you guys helped me last time. So let's get the actually the code. Oh, this is not the right one. We need this. Copy, paste. Is it paste or paste? So, okay. Yeah. So the magic is, let's redo this quick, right? The other thing I was able to do, like until we reached this point. Yeah. Did I did or like the container pushback? Yeah. And then we have like also like array left, right, merge sort, and so on. And here was my trouble, right? So I was not able to do this part, right? Actually, the merge part. I was not able to do the merge part. Really important. And you can see if the solution for this one. So we just defined what we're defining here. We're just defining another array. No. Wait. Okay, let me see. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just asking myself what kind of type we are getting back here, right? What is the type? So we can see what the type is. It's a vector, correct? So we're getting back a vector. So we just... What is arrow left dot begin? Is it a vector? Yeah, it is, right? It's not a vector. It is a vector. Oh no, we're just getting the variable back, right? What is the beginning of the vector? Okay, got it. So we're just saving the variable. No, not the variable. It's not the variable. Oh no, we're getting the address of begin, right? We're getting the address. Correct? That's why we have to dereference it later. So we're getting the address to the beginning of the vector left, right? Close, but not really. What? What are you telling me? Close, but not really? I mean, we get... I mean, we have the iterator. Okay, then I'm missing a topic. What kind of topic am I missing? Please help me. It is an iterator. Yeah, what is an iterator then? Oh man. Am I missing something? Hey, how are you doing, man? Wolf. However, auto, then you can see the exact time. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna listen. So using stood iterator. Okay, maybe I don't know really what an iterator is, right? Maybe I don't know what an iterator is. Maybe, is it called iterator or what is the name? Right, we're gonna check it together. Let me go to YouTube. Let me fix browser quick. Here we go. Is it the correct one? Yeah, it is. Here we go. Now you should be able to see it. Let's see how I have to pronounce it. So Iterator. What? Come on. Hello? Am I typing it wrong? It's a scary question. I don't know how to pronounce it, guys, right? We're gonna do it here, right? Iterator. Now I have it. Iterate it is.
Iterate.
Okay. What is an iterator? So let's see. Definition here, right? Definition. C++ reference.com is our friend. Stored iterator is the base class provided to simply definition of the required types of the iterators. The category of maybe I don't know what the iterator is. What is the iterator? Oh! I see traits. No. Oh no! It's starting again, guys. So iterate is more a concept than a specific class. So okay, what I'm returning then, if I have it like here, I thought I'm getting like I'm storing the value kind of, right? No, I mean the beginning of the address of the vector. So I have axis. So what I'm getting here then. What data structure did you call the begin on? It's a vector, correct? Am I correct? Am I wrong? Oh, you can't see the code. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know, guys, I just did it for more how it called, not conversion, chat discussion. So I just want to see if you're active. Okay, let's see. Here you can see local state vector. Maybe I should check what the iterator is, right? I don't know what the iterator is. Now you should be able to see the code. You can't see if I'm hovering, right? Okay, it's just saying stood vector integer array left. So it is a vector, right? From type integer. So maybe I should watch a YouTube video, boys. A YouTube video about the topic iterator. What is an iterator? Or maybe, wait, before I'm doing this rabbit hole, C++ tutorials. And then I'm going here. And then I'm gonna check iterators. And iterators overview. I don't know what iterators are, right? Oh. Pointers and iterators. Maybe I should read this quick, huh? Yeah, I should do it, right? Because if I want to learn the merge sort and I'm using iterators and stuff like this, right? Then maybe I should know what it is, right? At least I should know what it is. So in introduction to iterators. Iterating through an array or... okay. Do you know last time where we did like this merge sort? I dreamed about merge sort. I dreamed about that I'm going through this merge sort over and over again and doing like this I was like always waking up and I did like I'm going into the merge sorts kinda and back, right? The return thingy. I dreamed about that. It was super weird though. Oh my, maybe it was a little bit too much C++ for the day then. It was more like a horror dream or something like this. I can't even describe it. Actually, then I realized, I mean, if I have this, what is the correct word for that, right? If the function calling itself, what was the word for that? Something. Come on, guys. Recursion, right? So I just realized after I waked up after my horror dream that recursion, if I have a recursion, I not need for loops. Correct? I mean, instead of using a for loop or something, I can just use a recursion, correct? Horror dream. So what is the pro and the con about this topic? Cons about this topic? When should I use a recursion? When should I use like a for loop? Or is it just kind of the same? So I'm using recursion if I want to have my coworkers, if I want to punish my coworkers, huh? Nah, not really the same. Okay. Okay. I can see this. Okay. Okay. Let's do this topic quick. Introduction to iterators. Iterating through an array or other structures of data is quite a common thing to do in programming. And so far, we have covered many different ways to do so. With loops and an index for loops and while loops, with pointers and pointer arithmetic, and with range-based for loops. Okay, got it. So in C++ 17, the type of variables data is reduced to std array in Tetra 7. If you get an arrow compiling this example, see the warning below. Okay, while loop, blah, blah, blah. Okay, for loop, explicit index. Okay, so on. Depends on the specific implementation. Some recursion functions are optimized into simple loops. Recursion optimization. Oh, nice. A while loop with explicit index. Okay, so let I have to read this. So we're creating an array. Okay, got it. Size t. Okay, the length. Okay. Hey, what is this here doing? What is size t doing? What is size t doing? So it's, from data. Okay, we're getting just the size. Okay, got it. While loop with explicit index, std size t index 0. Okay. While index, okay. We're just printing this. Okay. For loop with explicit index. Okay. The same. Okay. While for, and then we have for loop with pointer. PTR can't be const because of we increment it. Okay. Wow. This is like, what is this? Juicy boy. Okay. Okay. Got it. For loop with explicit index. For loop with pointer. Okay, we're doing this with a pointer. Okay. Okay. Got it. Printing range-based for loop. Okay, no problem. We can do it like this. Okay. Interesting. But use whichever makes sense to you. What you guys? You're like real developer, not like me, you know. So do you like to like? Is it not harder from the is it harder to read like recursion instead of a while loop? Warnings. The example in the lesson use C++ 7 in future called class templates argument deduction to deduce the template arguments for a template variable from its initializer. In the example above, when the compiler sees std array data 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it will deduce that we want std array integers. Okay, got it. If your compiler is not C++ 17 enabled, you will get an error that says something like missing template arguments before the data. In that case, your best bet is to enable C++17 as per lesson. 0.12 configuring, right? Your compiler, choosing a language standard. If you cannot, you can replace the lines that use class templates arguments you're using with lines that have explicit template arguments. For example, replace std array data. Is it data or data? I always I'm forgetting this stuff though. I prefer loops, but some problems are just easier with recursions. Okay, got it. Data. It's data. It's data. Okay, with std array integer 7 data. Okay, so on. Okay, got it. So let's keep going, guys. Looping using indexes is more typing than needed if we only use the index to access elements. It also only works if the container, for example, the array, provides direct access to the elements, which arrays do, but some other types of containers, such as lists, do not. Looping with pointers and pointers arithmetic is verbose. Verbose? What does verbose means again? Let's do it.
Verbose.
Okay, got it. And can be confusing to readers who don't know the rules of pointer arithmetics. Actually, you know what's funny is you can just use this kind of stuff, and to figure it out how good your coworker is, right? It's like, you should know this, right? How to use it. Pointer arithmetic also only works if elements are... Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. I mean, I think C++ has so many ways to troll your colleagues, right?
Consecutive.
I think in C++ there's a lot of flexing involved, right? Why you don't know this feature? It's a new feature. You not watch the latest CPPCon? So, consecutive in memory, which is true for arrays, but not true for other types of containers, such as lists, trees, and maps. Okay, got it. C++ is a perfect language to flex on coworkers. Yeah. I tried one time to flex on my professor. I mean, you could do it like, but a real dev does it like this: overlay complicated solution. Oh, and it's so funny. I mean, the C++ word is funny, right? Isn't it? So, iterators. An iterator is an object designed to traverse through a container. Okay, what is a container? An iterator is... Okay, got it. Okay, it's an object designed to traverse through a container. Okay, maybe it's a language barrier here. Let me check.
Traverse.
Überqueren, okay. Through a container, okay. The value in an array or the character in a string. Providing access to each element along the way. Oh, no. Oh. Okay, now it's getting special again. Oh, no. Okay, so... Is an iterator like... Oh, man. So if I have... this is getting really funny. So if I have an array, right, and let's say I have array, and then I defining a variable and say the position is I. You know what I mean? Is this then my iterator? It's 0. Yeah, that's 0, then 1, then 2. That's my iterator, right? No, I would be I would be an index into an array. Okay, what is then the difference about the index and the array? How are you getting a mental breakdown over iterators? It's one of the most basic concepts in programming. Yeah, okay, flex on me. Flex on me. It's okay. Let's do it. If you feel better. An iterator is a type that contains methods or traverse your array. I'm trying to visualize it. Did you have a good drawing here? Did you have like a picture for me? Can you draw something? Just post it in my Discord. Or just send me the link. Wait, okay. Now I have to ask also. Do we have in assembler? Is it assembly or assembler? Assembly, right? Assembler? Assembly? Oh, what is it actually? It's assembly, right? Is it? Do we have something in assembly like an iterator? So it is like, oh, okay. So we have it just. It's a compiler thing again, right? It's like it is magic, correct? Schau dir das an. Da hast du wenigstens keine Sprachbarriere. Ja, aber ich kann jetzt nicht auf Englisch-Deutsch angucken hier. Das kann ich doch wieder nicht machen, oder?
Moin Leute und herzlich willkommen zurück zum Software Engineering. Heute geht's um das sogenannte Iterator Pattern.
I need an English video. Do you have the same video in English? Oh, this guy by the way is good. I watched him before. Do you have a video for iterators? C++? Oh, let's watch him, right? In 7 minutes. Okay, so think about it's like iterator is a category of types. Okay. For example, pointers are the most basic iterators. Ah, there is. But many structures have more advanced iterators. The things they have in common is the plus and difference operator. Things to how a pointer p you can do. Okay, to move to the next value. Iterators are types. You can do at least those operations. Now it gets more advanced with different types of iterators, but that is a basic idea. Dereference. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna watch this 7-minute video quick.
Hash include.
Okay, here we go.
So I encourage you to type along with me. So I'm gonna hash include input output stream. We're gonna using namespace standard, and then we have the integer main, and then we have the return 0 semicolon. There you go. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna come upon is the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is basically an essential component for this programming example, and that is the hash include. So we're going to hash include one component that we need, and that's called the iterator. Now, I know that I haven't covered this, and I have to discuss this really quickly. Now, what is an iterator? It's just like another mechanism for iterating through stuff.
Is this a meme video? I swear I hear more key press than character types.
The only highlight that I would say that I compare to something like you have an array, so you iterate through some indices. So when you want to go through something like something in a non-indexed format, something that is not in a simple kind of incrementing index system, then we use an iterator. Now some examples could be like a map, or it could be some unordered collection of a set. So
What is an iterator? I need something better. Let's see.
Hey, what's up guys, my name is Cherno. Welcome back to my C++.
Do you know that it means to iterate through something? Yeah, I think it's a language barrier thing, right? Iterate through something. Not really. I don't know. I don't know where the iterator is. But
series. So today we're going to be talking all about iterators. This is going to serve as more of an introductory video to iterators. A lot of
iterate is just the concept that that a type can be traversed step by step. Ah, okay. That is the nuance. Don't matter that much right now. Ah, that means okay. I can have an iterator from type integer. No, you know. So pointer is an iterator because I can traverse step by step, right? Okay, quickly, how are you doing? Oh. Does not, anyone knows MATLAB? I know it, but I don't know it.
Of people have been asking me, what are iterators? Should I be using iterators? Have they been somewhat replaced in the language?
Okay, quickly, do you have exam next week, or what are you asking?
This especially comes up.
Hey guys, does someone know how MATLAB is working? By the way, I have next week an exam. Something like this. Can you please tell me?
In universities
Can you teach me, please?
who are still maybe not using the latest C++.
Is it even real? Okay. Have fun, man. Have fun. Oh no. Next Monday, classics. I mean, it's better than tomorrow, right? It's better than to say like, guys, I need help in MATLAB. By the way, I have an exam tomorrow.
Plus standard. In fact, a lot of people message me and say, help me.
Oh man, do you know what's also funny is I just realized, guys, you know, I have to rewrite my exam in computer science at the first class, right? I just realized I have a completely new professor like this semester. I have the exam, I think, next week, and he's doing C++, but actually we're not programming the exam on PC. So we're just getting paper and we have to correct the code, what is wrong, what is correct. So this is like, okay, it's a little bit gambling.
My university is using C++ 03, which is a shame because it's 2020. But
those exams, the problem is, you know, I don't like this professor stuff changing, you know. It is cool because then you can choose, maybe I will write this exam by this professor because I like him more, or the exam is maybe easier or more easy. But it's also not cool, right? If you're not, because last semester I just visit like all these classes, you know, and now I don't know what will come, you know. This kind of also risky. So I have to check. I have to be at least in one class there, or in one lesson.
But we're not going to get into the educational system in this video. The point is, what are iterators, and do I really need to know how to use them? So iterators are essentially a way for you.
By the way, guys, if I'm stopping like studying, you have to get me a job, guys. I want to be the new coworker, so.
You to iterate over a collection of elements. Now, the thing is, an iterator is really up to the implementation in terms of how it's used, meaning that I could write a class called Apple and then add an iterator to it. That might not make sense to you, but I could use it in some kind of special way. It's kind of like operator overloading. You can make the
Oh, it's getting more and more special again. I mean, hello, C++. Wow, what a wonderful world.
++ operator do anything. But for the most case, if we look at the standard C++ library, we can see that iterators are usually used for iterating over data structures. So whether that be a simple array that you want to traverse or get through every element in that array, maybe you have a
I think my exam is easier than yours, though. No, the thing is, I will write also like computer science class 2. And I have no problem there, I think. I hope so, right? I hope so. But I don't like that the professors just changed, you know? And I don't know. It can be more easier, but there's no option to fail, you know? So... when is next week? I think it's next week or in 2 weeks. I don't know. I have to check it again.
vector, you want to go backwards through every element. Maybe you have something a little bit more complicated like a set or a map or even
by the way, last time I failed my exam, do you know why? I failed because I was not able to push back an array, right? And the exam, they said it was in C. And they said there will be no pointers involved. And to push back an array in C, you have to use pointers, correct? So, but then after the exams, they told me, yeah, you could just use a vector. It's also an array. And I was like, thanks a lot for telling me after the exam. I would just literally use in C++ the vector then. Then the pushback would be way more easier.
in a tree data structure, I want to traverse.
They aren't technical pointers? What do you mean? What do you mean they aren't technical pointers? Explain, please.
Reverse that. How do I do that? Well, you need to use an iterator. It's really easy to overlook iterators when you're just dealing with a simple data structure like a vector.
So like a pointer is an iterator, but not all iterators are pointers. Yeah, that's special. Yeah, this is again and really nice. You know, how many minutes I'm in already in C++? Let me check quick. 32 minutes. After 5 minutes, it was already like, okay, I don't know how actually iterators working. Okay, let's dig deep. Oh no, not again. Not after 5 minutes. Not after 5 minutes, please. I don't want to be stuck again.
Because we can simply use the index operator. Using the square brackets, we can simply stick a value into there and retrieve that element at that given index. But this doesn't always work for other data structures such as sets, which don't really contain all of our elements in order. So anyway, long story short, because I honestly think this does not need to be complicated at all, iterators are used to iterate over a collection of elements. And iterating over them is really simple, as we'll see in a minute. But first...
Okay, but why I need then different iterators? That's the question for me.
You know what isn't stuck in 2003 in terms of education? Skillshare. For those of you who do not come to us and some be more productive, 1,000 people who click the link in the description below and sign.
You have different data structures. Okay, what is a data structure again? Do you have an example for a data structure? Okay, got it. So okay, that makes sense. So it is. Can I say it is? You know, a data structure is like an object. something like this. And for this data structure, I have to define an iterator. Or if I'm programming my own data structure and I want to iterate through my own data structure, I have to program or define my iterator. Oh, that makes so much sense. Sven, do you know about hash tables? Okay, I can flex now on you. I can flex now on you. Just wait a second. What he asked me, man. Right, I have to flex on him. Give me a second. Here, that's for you, my friend. This is for you.
Sign up 2 free months of Skillshare Premium. Decide for yourself if you want to stay and learn more or not. Huge thank you as always to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Let's dive in and take a look at what iterators are all about. So as mentioned earlier, iterators are used to iterate over a collection of data. Now, you can really interpret this however you like.
Wait. I thought it's data.
Data.
Is it data or data? I'm confused.
Possible to write custom iterators that do a whole range of things, but usually when we think of an iterator, we think of having a collection of values such as this vector here, and we want to traverse the entire
Well, what is a better accent?
collection, part
Oh no, the flex strikes back. You use iterator in your flex. So why did you understand it back then and forgot about them now? Now I know that I was aware of that I can iterate through something, right?
of the collection. Maybe we want to go backwards through the collection. We essentially have the desire to get through at least some of the values inside.
And yeah, I know you should not use in C++ stuff what you not really 100% know, but
This collection. So how do we do that? Well, let's look at some simple examples.
because when you dig into the details of something, it becomes more complex than when you just use it. True. There's a lot of example about that, like R values, L values, all this funny stuff in C++, right?
We have a vector here. We have 5 values. How
Yeah.
do I print them all out to the console?
I still don't know what traits are.
There are a number of ways we could, of course, do that. The most common way, which you'll probably think of, is a for loop that simply iterates through values.size like this, so that we go through all of the 5 values that we have here. And then we simply use the index operator here with the I variable to just retrieve the data at a particular index inside our array here. So if I print this out into the console like this, and I'll add in a little stdcin.get over here, we should see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 being printed out to the console. And you can
I have one point quick. You saw my code, right? Where is it? It's not completely my code because you helped me to finish it from the merge sort. And it was really interesting because I had like my own approach to write the merge sort. And I just asked ChatGPT, please finish the code, right? But ChatGPT just completely rewrite my code. You know what I mean? That was really interesting. So ChatGPT was not able to actually complete my code, just to add like, where is it, the example? Where is it, programming? Here, programming. ChatGPT was not able to add these lines. We had like, everything was already finished. So this was finished, for example. Blah, 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 right? This was finished, and I just asked ChatGPT to complete the rest, and it was not able to just rewrite completely my logic actually. That was really interesting. So it seems like it was a limit for ChatGPT. How to pronounce it? ChatGPT, or I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. Doesn't matter. I know that my English is not the best. I have to live with that. It is what it is. Chippity. Ah.
You can see that's what we get. So we've essentially
Gippity. Chat. Guys, do it. I how to pronounce, wait. English, Deutsch. 0x, how are you doing? Chat.
Chad Gippity.
Something like this.
Chat GPT.
I'm just gonna say Chat GPT. That's it. Just got back from work. Welcome back, man. Okay, let's see.
iterated through this entire collection, and this is a pretty common way of doing that. Now let's also look at another way that we might do this, because we don't really need this I variable. Is there a cleaner way that we can write this? And of course there's something called a range.
You know what's also cool is I can find every time something new in C++. It is like a black hole or something.
Based for loop since C++ 11. So what we can actually do is write the data type here, which is int, a name for the current element that we're iterating over, and then finally the actual collection, which in this case is values. So in other words, we're going through all of the values here, and then we now have this integer value to play with. That's our current values I equivalent. So we can just simply print that out to the console like this, and well, you can see that results in some very, very clean code. This is usually my preferred way of iterating through collections if I don't need that I variable. And there you can see we have the same result as before. So how does this even work? I mean, it looks like seemingly magic code, and it seems to work for this vector class. So what exactly makes it work with the vector class? Does the vector class contain something specific that makes this range-based for loop work? And how does that work? So the answer is yes. It has something called an iterator. Now, we're not really going to get into this too much. There's a lot of different types of iterators here, and we're actually going to even have a look at writing our own iterators for our custom data structure. And we're not really going to get into this too much. There's a lot of different types of iterators here, and we're actually going to even have a look at writing our own iterators for our custom data structure classes in the future. But today we're just going to discuss how it actually works in practice and how you can use it. Basically, a range-based for loop works because the vector class provides a begin and end function which returns an iterator at a particular position. Provides a begin and end function which returns an iterator at a particular position. So that's a basically a range-based for loop works because the vector class provides a begin and end function which returns an iterator at a particular position. So in other words, this is really just some shorthand code for
returning an iterator. Okay. Okay. It's just a pointer. I mean, I just said it's a pointer, and the guys here in chat said it's not a pointer. I'm not getting back the address. I should have said I'm getting back a pointer, right? What was this the mistake before? Did I just said I'm getting the address instead of the pointer?
The more extended version, which we're going to take a look at here. So if we were to write this out, you'll
no, iterators aren't just pointers.
See the SCD vector.
There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Here we go.
Template specialization of int actually has another type inside it called Iterator. And there's a few different ones, as you can probably see here. There's Iterator, there's Reverse Iterator, there's Const Iterator. So
Oh,
just
no,
the
no,
regular
no.
iterator is what we can use to iterate through the values in a forward fashion, in forward direction from beginning to end. Reverse iterator will do the opposite. It will actually start at the end and go back to the beginning.
So how is the iterator defined? It can be different defined, right? I mean, yeah, okay, it makes sense. Yeah, okay. It's just iterator is just an object, right? What I'm returning. I can return, for example, a vector from, right? I can return an iterator, and the iterator can be always differently defined, right? Depends on the data structure, correct? It's a little bit magic for me, to be honest. Iterator is an idea. It has a set of features. Those features can be implemented by a class, and it's just so happens that a pointer has those features as well. The part that you actually care about is a pointer. Okay, got it.
And then the const versions of these are the same, but we can use it on a const vector because it's not going to actually let us.
So I'm getting back the iterator, right? But I can dereference it, so I'm getting the value. Correct? So that's why an iterator is not a pointer. So I'm just using, because I have I defined this assignment, right? Correct? In the definition of the iterator. So that's why I can get back the value. Is this correct? Not sure I completely understand it. So, okay, the thing is that you can design yourself or implement your own iterator, right? And you can have your own overloading stuff inside there, like your own assignment, right? You could have the assignment, for example, this here, right? You could have this kind of assignment. And if I'm using it, it's just dereference the thing, and I'm getting back the value because I defined it this way. Correct? Now we're getting closer. Okay. Wow. So the thing that's so brutal, actually. You're using all the things if you're learning programming in C++. But actually, you're missing a lot of knowledge to understand it, really. You know, you're just using it, but you think you understand it, but actually you're not understanding it because you're missing a lot of knowledge to actually understand this kind of topic. The reason why an iterator can be invalid is because the internal pointer is no longer pointing to the correct address. Yeah. I mean, if you're learning other programming languages, maybe it's more easy, right? I mean, you have to actually know a lot about C++ to understand things. So that's maybe the reason why I could now say it's maybe not the best if you have only for 1 year learning C++ in university. So what is it, like 12, 14 weeks? 14 weeks per semester? Like 3 hours per week? 1 year? And you want to do like object-oriented programming? That's not enough. Because you would have like 16 weeks, that's not enough to really understand stuff, how it's actually working. 3 hours per week is nothing, yeah. and then doing like object-oriented programming. Yeah, this make no sense. Then would it make way more sense to just say, okay, we going for C, right? Just go for C, and then do maybe the object-oriented programming part in Python or I don't know, in another language. It's enough to teach the basic to motivate students, but you won't learn the details of C++. But the problem about, I would say like, there are so many pitfalls, right? In C++, and maybe it's not a good language for exams. For example, my example, right? To return like an array. So I was not aware that I'm able to that I'm allowed to use, for example, vector, right? Then it's getting way more complicated. So maybe then it's better to just learn C first. C is already complicated enough, right? So yeah, I mean, you can. It is hard. It is hard. The problem about C is then, if you know C, that you just always write the stuff in C instead of C++. And I'm also pretty sure that a lot of students don't know the difference about the reference operator and the address operator. For me, it was like, wow, after I did this overloading thing, wow, this is actually different. Everything can be different. It depends. Doesn't matter if you start with Rust, assembly, or Python. Now, I mean, sometimes if you're studying something, for example, engineering, you have also like computer science stuff classes, right? And you're overjumping a lot of topics. And I think the dangerous thing about this is then you think you understand how stuff is actually working, but actually you have no clue at all. Because you're missing a lot of basics, right? Can you say it like that?
Us affect the values. It's not going to let us mutate the values, just simply read them. So if we just select the normal iterator, that's what we have here, how can we use this to iterate through all of the variables or all of the elements inside this std vector? Well, you'd write a for loop just like you did here. So we'd have an iterator, we can call it it, that's a common name for it, for iterator, and we'll set this to the beginning of our collection, which is going to be values.begin. Then we need to check the end condition. So in other words, just like with any other for loop, at what condition does this for loop break? At what condition does it terminate? So it terminates if this iterator, or rather, at what condition does it not terminate, right? So this for loop will run as long as this statement is going to be true. So as long as the iterator is not equal to the end of this collection. So values.end will return an iterator that is actually already outside of the accepted range. It's basically an
I think it depends on the person. Given too much details right away can be overwhelming and cause people to quit learning. But I have like always the feeling in university back then that a lot of people just trained to program, for example, merge sort, but not like understood the concept, but programmed it like how to say they I need the correct English word. Recite, auswendig, by rote. Yeah, they just learned it by something by rote, right? Is this the correct wording? So if you would change something a little bit up, they would not able to program it, you know? Yeah, just by memorize. What is memo? Ach, was heißt das denn auf Englisch, Mann? Learned by heart, it's the name.
Learn by heart.
Really? Okay, learned by heart. I don't know. You get my point. You get my point, right? Memorizing. Memorizing, yeah. And then if you would change something up a little bit, they would not able to program it.
An invalid iterator. So this is not really the end. It's not.
So here I'm creating like this iterator IT, and I'm saying, okay, I have like from the begin, values from the begin. And then until we're not, okay, yeah, okay.
The last element, it's
Wow, it can use it then.
the element after the last element, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then finally, we need to write iterator plus plus. You can also write it as plus plus iterator or as a postfix as well. Iterator plus plus, it doesn't matter in this case. Now let me just slightly clean up this code and drop it down a bit so that you can see it all. Okay, so that's it. We're going through all of our values. So now that we have an iterator though, how do we get the value at that iterator?
Wait. Okay.
Position? Well, you have to dereference the iterator as if it was a pointer. This works because they've just implemented this dereference operator kind of asterisk function.
This is wait, how to call this?
This works because they've just implemented this dereference operator kind of asterisk function.
Asterisk. How to call this? I have talked to a colleague who had the first programming course at my university. We start with C, and it's super difficult to teach programming. Asterisk, symbol. I have to learn this, man. Why is my English so bad?
Asterisk.
Asterisk. By the way, if you don't know, I'm learning also English. I don't know if you can call it learning. Asterisk.
Asterisk.
Asterisk. I think it's fine for you, right? It's entertain. Like, yeah, you get my point. Yeah. Yeah, you can understand me. Yeah. It's probably super funny, right? Yeah, I know. Yeah. This is really interesting. This is so cool, actually. So good. Your English is better than my German.
Function.
But German, actually, maybe one day I will make a challenge that I want to improve my English and my German also, because there's a lot of change. It's changed a lot in the German language. Some rules, Actually, I did it that other people could learn easier German, but actually it's not ended really well, because every newspaper in Germany right now is writing an old standard or a new standard or a mixed standard or whatever,
Inside the actual iterator class. Okay, so now to print this out to the console, we'll follow the same strategy as before. We simply
one day lures us in with C++ stream and flip it on us and teach us German. Oh yeah. At one point I tried to read Der Spiegel. Really? Den Spiegel. Yeah. The thing is, I'm also not really talented like with languages. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's also maybe it has also something to do that I was not able to hear my first 3 years, in life. So then I had like a ear operation or something. Is it operation? OP, like operation? What is surgery? It's called a surgery, correct? I had like then an ear surgery, and maybe that's also like was like.
reference.
What to say, then I was a little bit behind, but this can sound also like in the wrong, in the wrong way.
Iterator and print it out like this. And now what we should see is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements being printed for the third time. And that is, of course, what we see over here. Great. So why would you ever use iterators like this?
This is really interesting that you can do this.
And to be honest, the answer is you probably wouldn't these days, because a range-based for loop is essentially shorthand for this, and of course it looks a lot cleaner. However, there are certain
I gonna use this method in my Excel. That would be so cool.
situations where you might want to manipulate the position of the iterator. For example, is if you want to erase an element but still keep iterating over the
Guys, to be honest, I'm too old for this university stuff, right? I mean, I'm not able to say it, but I not have even like other word for it. But I think I'm too old, right? Already, like 35 years old, still self-employed. I mean, my business is doing well, right? So, but still, you need the Wait, yours? Yeah, I'm 35. I'm 35. The thing in Germany is, right, even if you're good in something, like for example, if you're learning programming, for example, and you're good in programming, if you not have it on paper, if you not studied it, it's really, really hard to get a job. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm not giving up like studying. Like it's already a meme, I can say. So if, friends of mine asking me, Sven, what are you doing, by the way? And I'm just saying, I'm still a student and self-employed.
The rest of the collection. In that case, the iterator gets invalidated. You have to deal with that. Or maybe you want to insert something into the middle based on a certain condition.
The experience is shared in the majority of the countries out there, yeah. But in the US, it's different, right? It's counting more what you are able to do, actually, right? Or am I wrong? How is the situation in US?
There's a few different scenarios in which you just simply can't use this because it just wouldn't work.
Hey, Yobi, maybe, how are you doing?
Position of
the thing is also like, I would say even in back then, in the old days, it was not like that. That you have to, if you want to have like a super great job, that you have to study for it, for example, it matters more what you are actually able to do. And right now the situation is in Germany, like you can end up to get a job that normally would, or only people from university could apply, but you're doing the same job, but you're getting underpaid because you not have like a bachelor or something. And that's completely unfair, right? If you're able to do the job, you should get paid well, right? It makes no sense. Finally, C++ Sabaton. Oh yeah. All my colleagues are graduated. Yeah, it makes sense also, right? You need some knowledge, but. Meanwhile, Unicrates are the ones to usually end up lacking. Lacking? What does this lacking mean? Lacking. Lacking. But to be honest, if you have like an employee and he studied like tech, it's also hard, right, to study it. It depends on which university you're studying your class, for example. But you mean not having the skill? Lacking is similar to a 97 IQ. Guys, we know all that my brother have more than 97. We not have to have a discussion about that. Instead, spending his life in something, I don't want to say meaningful. He just choose the path to play Hearthstone Battlegrounds. So. But then you can also argument what is meaningful in life, right? Is programming meaningful, right? We could have a discussion about that. They will accept you if you have the skill and attitude. Doesn't matter that qualification you have. In US, you mean? Or in Germany? I mean, we can just check in Germany job requirements. I mean, you need even... Last time I checked for jobs, right? Just I was interested in. And even like for social media consulting, you need like a degree, university degree. And I know because I'm doing this stuff, it's changing like every month. So if you learned it in university, it is like, I don't know. It was back in the days when I started 28 years ago. So you mean in the US you have also like these qualifications here too, but it isn't required. In Germany it's required, right? Most of the time. I'm probably sure we have some German guys here, right? By the way, Naughty promised me a job. Okay. Right, Naughty? The DACH region is very conservative when it comes to degrees. Depends where you're from, I guess. You can work for me, so I can keep watching Chech's stream at work. Yeah. Yeah, Germany is special, to be honest. It's really special. I have a lot of stories about this topic. I have like stories even that like people working in a job where you need actually a degree for, and they're getting underpaid because they not have the degree. It's just, and then they just getting a new colleague, and they have to teach the new colleague how stuff is actually working. And the new colleague have, for example, the degree and getting way more money than you with like 10 years of work experience. And I don't know if that makes sense, to be honest. I don't know if that makes sense. But okay.
Iterator, and we'll probably get into those in a future video. But obviously, for something like a vector or an array with an index operator that simply takes in a numerical index, it just ascends like it would for an array here, they're not...
Wait, no, Naughty, you were not this guy from Star Citizen, right?
really necessary. You don't actually have to write code like this because we can, of course, just write a normal for loop and use I as the index. However, iterators are essentially mandatory for other types that don't have such a simple indexing system. Because, of course, not everything is just a contiguous array with an index.
You promised me a job if I'm good enough. I think I'm good enough already.
Like we have here. I mean, think
I think I will never be good enough, to be honest.
think of something like a tree data structure. How do we traverse through a tree? We can't just increment an index. What about an unordered set? I mean, that contains a bunch of unordered elements. If I wanted to print all of them out to the console, how would I do that? The example I'm going to show you is specifically the unordered map here. So an unordered map is essentially a hash map. It obviously doesn't store its variables
I like this unordered map. I like it. It's so good.
in any kind of order, and we need to actually know the keys of the entries
But I don't like the bug.
if we want to get the values out of there, unless we iterate through them.
You always can be my co-streamer if I get my breakthrough as a streamer. You streaming or what? Are you streaming? But why you want to stream if you're working have a really good job, right? To be honest, I can tell you because I know a lot of I like numbers and stuff like this, right? And I think a lot of people thinking like YouTube streaming is easy money, but it's not true. I think it's way easier to do something else, and you can make way faster money with that instead of like going be on YouTube or going for Twitch streaming and stuff like this. Sven applied for IT security at Rewe in Essen. They asked for a degree, but in the end, they take everyone that can spell darknet. Really? Maybe we should do it on stream, right? For the memes. I'm just gonna apply. But I can tell by from experience, most like medium-sized companies, IT-wise, sometimes Germany, it's absolutely terrible. Security-wise. I think YouTube and Twitch is very top-heavy, and you need to have fun and very specific skills to be successful and also happy with the job. I really like also to be self-employed. I think streaming stuff like this, you bound it towards other company for for example YouTube or Twitch or whatever, and if they're changing something with the algorithm, you're kind of completely screwed over, right? So and it is a lot of work. It is. I mean, you could also stream, for example, on Twitch and just and then a guy from Star Citizen come over and see that you're a really skilled programmer, and then you're ending up to get a job. Right, Naughty? Just kidding. For very specific, blah blah blah. But I can see me that I really like this physics stuff, right? In C++. Like there's a guy. Maybe I will end up to do stuff like this. I really like. Maybe I'm a little bit nerdy, about topics like this. But I really like this physics C++ thing. Where is it? This here. This is such a nice video.
Note is how the total energy
So
of the system
nice.
doesn't change, which means that the simulation is at
If you can do simulations like this, is so cool.
least somewhat stable. If energy grows without putting any energy in, then we know that something has to be broken.
True, right?
We can use a mass spring system to simulate.
Maybe we have some people here on Twitch that saying, no, you can just generate energy, right? You can put energy in and you're getting more energy out. If you're interested in game development, why not give it a shot? Yeah, but to be honest, Nori, I have to get way better, right? Maybe I could try it as a part-time job or something. Or like as a trainee first. But I'm way too realistic for that. I have to get way better. Have to know way much stuff about C++.
And that's what we're going to do here. So let's create a little map here. I'm going to just write an unordered map of std string to maybe int. We'll call this map.
But sometimes I have also the feeling that I am, I'm doing consulting for some companies, and what is the correct word? Underrate my knowledge. Because if I'm doing sometimes this consulting stuff, I thought, okay, I have not that much knowledge about this topic, right? And then I ending up to talk about one topic like 2 hours, and then I realize, I know something about this topic,
So maybe this will like
imposter complex. Check, you're right in the game industry. What do you mean imposter complex? Check, you're right in the. What is an imposter complex? University probably, and I had like always in university the feeling I was able to program stuff. I'm not really understood it. And to be honest, I was like back then. The first time I learned C++, and then I learned Java, right? And I missed always the header files. I had like always the feeling I want to get back to C++. And we don't want to talk about Visual Basic, please, no. Then I had like a harder feeling to get back to C++. Imposter syndrome, also known as an imposter phenomenon or impostorism, is a psychological occurrence in which people doubt their skill, talents, or I don't know. I don't know if it's true for I don't know. I don't know if I have the imposter syndrome. I don't think so. I would finished already my study stuff, right?
Contain like some kind of name like Cherno and maybe an associated score. So we'll write Cherno 5 and maybe, I don't know, C++ 2 because obviously I'm cooler than C++. So with this map in mind, if I wanted to iterate through it, how would I do it? Well, obviously I can't use a for loop like this, because if I did that, well, my index would just be like 0 or 1 if I checked the map size, and that's not what I need. I need to actually iterate using the correct keys here. So I'm forced to write some sort of iterator. So let's write this out as a for loop that actually uses iterators. So what I'll do is I'll take the entire...
Okay, got it. So how are you doing, by the way, Nodi, right now, Star Citizen? I mean, I checked the Star Citizen con etc. It was a really nice presentation. I not really understand the hate sometimes, right? I really like that you are like actually truthful, but maybe the people are not geek enough. Like what geek not tech geek enough. But it was really interesting, like the solution, a lot of nice physics solutions, stuff like this. It was really cool. Yeah, actually C++. No, it's not completely my first. I started with in university back then with what was it? Visual Basic. No, what was it?
Type, and you can see it's getting quite long, and then maybe I don't want to like modify these values, I just want to access them, so I want to use a const iterator. Okay, this is a huge type, and because of that it's pretty common to use
Visual Basic,
either a type def or using along with the type. So in other words, maybe I could replace this part of it if I wanted to and just call it a score map, and then that would obviously simplify things a lot.
Okay, got it.
So I can just do this now.
I have to do this more often, right? Stuff like this, I should do this more often because I learned it already.
Maybe I even want to define some kind of score map const iterator or something like that. I could also do that by just assigning this to score map const iterator, and now all I have to do is write code like this. I honestly end up doing stuff like this a lot.
Great, bringing a new patch soon. I cannot tell more than we already showed last CitizenCon. Of course you can't. But to be honest, from the business perspective, I don't know if you're aiming for to create a really nice game. Like, I mean, you are. I'm not doubting that. Or that you're ending up to have like a crazy good, how it called, engine, right? What you could sell to other people, like Unreal or whatever. Maybe this is your strategy.
I don't ever really using with iterators like this, but I do use it with the type
I mean, as a business point of view, it makes completely sense, right?
sometimes. So I'll leave it like that here, and then just implement this as score map const iterator. So iterating through this map, I'll set the iterator equal to the beginning of the map, of course, like I did before. I'll make sure that it iterates until we reach the...
Okay, this is really interesting. Let's check. We say score map, blah, blah, blah. And then we have score map. This is this here, blah, blah, blah. And then const iterator. Yeah. Ah, okay.
the end of the map, and then I'll increment the iterator. Now, this is a little bit different because this is a map. I'm iterating through a map. So how does that work? I don't just have one element, right? Like I would with like a set or a vector or an array or something like that. I actually
Yeah, it makes completely sense, right? Why not using the stuff what you actually developed? Some people saying, okay, maybe the game will fail or whatever. I think you will not gonna fail because you have a really nice engine. You know, what I'm also not understanding sometimes that people, you know, this Star Citizen Con was about the engine, and a lot of people had like the feeling it's about the game. You know. But actually, it was about the new things in the engine. And I think you got like a lot of hate because of that, but how to call it, undeserved.
actually have two elements, the key and the values.
Maybe it was like also a communication problem. I don't know.
So how do I access them? Well, instead of just dereferencing it, you can actually use the arrow operator and access two little elements here. We have first and second. First is going to be the key. So I can just go ahead and assign that to key like that. And then the second one is going to be my value. And I'll just use the ampersand here to get this as a reference so that I'm not actually copying the value. So I have iterator first and iterator second. Let's go ahead and print that out to the console. We'll print the key followed by an equal sign and then value like this. Let's go ahead and run this. And in fact, what I might do is just take away the other code that we had here to keep our console nice and clean. All right, check this out. So we have cherno equals 5 and C++ equals 2. Cool, we're able to iterate through all of this. Now, how can we maybe improve this code to make it a little
This is
bit
interesting though, that you can do it like this. Makes sense first and then the second, yeah. And then you have the key. Huh. Pretty nice.
bit better? How can we use the same kind of range-based for loops, but with a map? Well, let's check that out. So I'm going to write for auto kv.
I think it's hard to show the work behind technologies that are industry defining and breaking the boundaries of what it is there, especially to people that are not familiar with the craft. But I think you at least trying. You know what I mean? You're not presenting something completely over polished.
That's going to stand for key value in this case. And then map. Yeah, it's that simple. So what this will do is actually retrieve this pair, this iterator first and iterator second. If you actually look at what it is, it's an SCD pair. So this is us now retrieving that SCD pair. And now we can actually access the elements from within that. So I retrieving an iterator, that's simple. So what this key value in this case, and then map. Yeah, it's that simple. So what this will do is actually retrieve this pair, this iterator first and iterator second. If you actually look at what it is, it's an SCD pair. So this is us now retrieving that SCD pair. Actually look at what it is, it's an SCD pair. So this is us now retrieving that SCD pair. And now we can actually access the elements from within that. So I still need this, unfortunately, but this obviously cleans up the code because I can just do kv.first and kv.second like that. And then obviously if I print this out, I should get the same result. Let me just add some end lines between this and here maybe. Let's see what we get. All right, as you can see, we get the same result, obviously, but this again looks a lot cleaner. Now, can we do better than that? Well, yes, we can. As of C++ 17, we're able to use structured bindings. What that means is that this code is going to look even cleaner. We can actually retrieve this key and value right here inside this statement. We can simply write auto key.
I'm not understanding why C++ sometimes getting so much hate. I know it has a deep learning curve, but it provides you also with a lot of features. But you have to learn also the new features. Complexities, yeah, but yeah, I get it. I really get it, but you're getting also a lot of options because of that, right?
Value with
You know, the thing is, people want to have always the easy way, right? Some people think, oh, it's easy to become a YouTuber. Some people think it's or like to be like a streamer or whatever, right? But it's not true. I mean, okay, there could be some people that are really lucky, but the most people are just working really hard for it. I wouldn't have ever even wrote C++ if it weren't for university forcing me to do so. But what kind of language you are using? Nix. Yes, because C++ is complex, C# is easier, as both up and downsides. I think it depends, right? I think if you want to do like embedded systems or whatever, like more like tech stuff, maybe then C++ is the better route for it. You know what I mean? And for web developing, C# is pretty good. It is. You know why you should use then C++. I mean, you could for like, I don't know, if you want to implement a new UDP protocol for streaming or something, right? Then maybe C++ makes sense to make this integration, and then you could use other language. Mostly OCaml and Rust. Actually, I want to try out Rust one day, but I think Rust is also kind of hyped, you know? I think sometimes C++, because it's already like an old language, it is cooler to say, yeah, I'm learning Rust. You know what I mean? Because why should we learn C++? You know, it's an old language. It makes no sense. You know what I mean? Because we have a lot of discussion already here on stream about the topic, how you could write safe C++ code, and you could if you experienced enough, right? You can trust to find that there are solutions for that. Yeah, you could, but you could also write really unsafe code, and you could do the same with Rust also if you want to. It's more like Rust limits you by default, you know? And that's maybe some people saying, okay,
with these kind of square brackets here and iterate through our map. So if I drop this over here, that's all we end up with. And if I hit F5, there we go. We're now iterating here. That's all we end up with.
Oh, that's interesting.
We can simply write auto key value with these kind of square brackets here and iterate through our map. So if I drop this over here.
I have one question. Is this brackets? The brackets what I have, that's not the operator. What is it then? How I can do it like this? How is this even working?
That's all we end up with. And if I hit F5, there we go. We're now iterating through this map 3 different ways.
I think I would one time I'm gonna try out Rust. It seems like also SIG is also. I think SIG is could be like a replacement for C, and Rust could be a replacement for C++. But actually, there we had already a deep talk about that. There is a thing, something you can actually program a safe program but it's not Rust safe. You know what I mean? We had already some people here. Remember the guy CO3F something? He tried out also Rust, and he just told us that there are some limits in Rust, right? But he's not able to program the stuff what he's programming in C++ in Rust. But Sick and Rust are both replacement for C and C++, yeah. But you have also C++ 2.0, right? Or something. Someone is developing something like that. And you have another problem. You have also a lot of problem about Rust. Carbon, not Carbon. It's not Carbon. It's who is it? Like this project C++. What is the name? C++ 0.2. Ah, here, this was syntax. Yeah, here. By Hop, right? You should check this out. Also really interesting. Here's the GitHub page. Really interesting project. I should try also this out, but first I want to learn it. I like C++.
But what we're talking about today is basically CPP front, and he just did a talk about this at CPPCon 20.
It's really interesting. By Carbon, by Google, yeah, a lot of people trying to replace stuff. I mean, I think in a language is more a tool, right? If you want to do web development stuff like this, maybe C# is better. You don't want to do it with C++, right? But the interesting thing what I saw is that you can also, there's a trend to do web development in Rust, and this is interesting in my opinion.
And of course, this code looks much, much cleaner. Now, keep in mind that you will have to make sure that your compiler supports C++ 17 and that you're actually compiling with that. If we go into properties here as an example, you can see that my C++ language standard under C, C++ and language in Visual Studio is set to C++ 17. If you're getting
C++ isn't going anywhere for a very long time. Yeah, and the good thing about it is that it's sometimes a little bit slow in terms of features, right? But it's cool. On the other hand, it's also for company. If you are developing in C++, it's a safety guarantee because you have a committee, right? And in Rust, you don't know what's going to happen in the next years. Because Microsoft is involved. Maybe there's even a joke. Maybe there will be someday Rust Sharp. You know, maybe there will be. You have a lot. Yeah, you have a lot of drama in Rust. Yeah.
compiler errors, which is quite common, then make sure that you're actually compiling with C++ 17. Okay, so in summary, the only way that we can iterate through a map or a set or something that is essentially unordered and doesn't have a simple kind of incrementing index system is by using an iterator. And today we've discussed both using a normal iterator.
It's a really good video, by the way.
C++. We'll have to make sure that your compiler supports C++ 17.
This is also really cool.
And that you're actually compiling with that. If we go into properties here as an example, you can see that my C++ language standard under C, C++ and language in Visual Studio is set to C++ 17. If you're getting compiler errors, which is quite common, then make sure that you're actually compiling with C++ 17. Okay, so in summary, the only way that we can iterate through a map or a set or something that is essentially unordered and doesn't have a simple kind of incrementing index system is by using an iterator. And today we've discussed both using a normal iterator, a const iterator, range-based for loops, which actually use iterators, as well as structured bindings with maps, which is pretty cool. And just to be super clear, the reason these range-based for loop shortcuts work is because we have an actual begin function inside our map or inside our, well, whatever collection or data structure we're using that actually returns an iterator in the first place. If we didn't have that, then that would in fact not work. Okay, so hopefully that was a good introduction to iterators. There is of course
a really nice introduction here. Getting this here. Was a really good video, right? Wasn't it? Let's go. I have to go. Yeah. So let's see chat. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's funny, right? We just ended up with a completely new topic, and actually I want to redo sorting algorithm, but now I have a better understanding. I really like this. I don't want to say like breakthroughs in C++. Sometimes you have like really rough days, but sometimes, you know, this iterator stuff, it's like, I don't want to say like mind-blowing, but it makes so much sense to me. For the moment. I know that you have to be always like precise with your words if you're talking about C++. That's a nice thing of learning. I mean, you learn learning if you learn C++. Or you learn nothing, or you learn that you know nothing. That's also what I learned. You know, that I actually know nothing. That I like. The moment of I get it is easy. I said it so many times. I get it. It is easy, and then I just read it this topic, and then I ended up. Oh, actually, I not got it. Actually, I only understand the half about the topic. Actually, you can go really deep. I don't get it. Oh, okay. Yeah. By the way, Nodi, are you still programming? No, right? You're now a leader. Nah, but I plan to go back into a project for Unreal Engine. Why? Why are you not using your own, from Star Citizen? Yeah, Unreal Engine is also really interesting. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can do so much stuff with programming, and maybe one day you're like at a point that you can solve a lot of problems, and then that's actually why you're learning programming, right? Because then you are able to just solve problems. It's the same with math, right? It's also really cool skill that if you have a lot of enough knowledge about math, that you're able to describe a problem. You're gonna do your own project. Ooh. What kind of project you are planning to do? So now we're going over the code again. Quick here. Where is it? Programming. This is my merge sort. Was able to do it. Now we can do this topic. Now I know what we're returning here. We're returning the iterator here also. The begin for right and left. Right, and then we're creating a vector. Actually, someone, I think we can program this even smarter, right? As in the concept. Okay. So, stud vector, then we're creating a vector, the result vector, what we need. Then we have a while loop. Then we're just saying if the iterator is iterator left is unequal this one, the end. This is actually interesting. Wait. What I'm returning with the end? Am I returning an iterator? Yeah. Now it's really interesting which kind of I mean, I have to look it up, right? How the operator equal is defined. Okay, it's just testing if it's the same. If yes, then no. If it's not the same, and iterator right is also not the same with okay, then we're doing that one. Let me see quick. Okay, we're doing actually the while loop until we're reaching the end. And then we have the dereferencing thing here, right? And then we just... If the left side is smaller than the right side, then do the pushback. And then we're counting it up. Okay. Else we're doing the pushback. Okay, if it's the other thing, okay. That makes sense. We can go... where's the drawing thing? I can draw here now. This is a little bit... I want to have it quick on the right side. So what we're doing is actually... Let's make this big quick. I can't do it here. I have to do it on this screen. Where's my pencil? Here. Okay, what we're actually doing is... what was the example? If we have 11 and 6... Right, then we had like, the example would be 11, 6, right? We not have this case. So we push bagging, because this is untrue, this case, right? So that's why we have then the else case. And that means we're pushing this first back. Correct. That's what we're actually doing. Every result pushback to the result. Yeah. Okay. Wait. I can. No. What I did? Terrible. Wait. We're gonna draw it again. So we have the 11. We have the 6. And the first statement is not true. The second is true. That means we have our array result. Result or result? And that means we push back the 6. Right, the 6 here. And then we have here the next if statement. And this is saying if the right equals the right end. Yeah, exactly. And then we're saying, this is also really interesting. Then we're saying, okay, if the iterator left is array left end, right? And we have this case. Because, yeah. And that means then we're doing here the pushback also in the result array result, and then we're gonna say, okay, where we want to place it. We want to place it in the end, so we're gonna place the iterator right in the end. That's why we're pushing back this here. And then we're pushing back this, we're gonna push back. No, this is we're gonna return then. Exactly. We're gonna return this one. Last time my question was, so if I'm using array underscore result dot insert array underscore result dot end, so we wanna where we're gonna place it, the iterator, right? The iterator right, where we're gonna place it in the end, or at the, is it in the end or at the end? And my question was why I need the third one here. And I think I don't know it anymore. No! That's why you should relearn stuff in the evening again. Why I need the third statement here. I want to place this. Oh no, wait, actually it's wrong. We are in this statement here. We are here. We are not here with this case scenario. We are here. It right, array right dot end, right? So if the iterator right is actually the end, we're gonna do that one, and that's actually the case here. Correct? If you have the test scenario 11.6, you're gonna end up here. And then we have the where we want to place it, the same, and then we want to place the iterator left. Why need this statement again? Okay, guys, now you can backseat me. Da habe ich mich wohl zu früh gefreut. Mann, Wie war das nochmal? We can just debug it, right? So we're gonna debug it so we can check it. So we have this left is 11, right? And it's not the end. No. But for right, it is the end. So we're going into this. Yeah, exactly. Right. What I'm not understanding, I don't know why I'm not understanding this right now. Have to think about it again. Okay, let's check this here again. So we have already two arrays, right? We have the left and we have the right. Correct? And then we have the iterators, left and right. And we're taking just here the iterators. So we're getting back the iterators, correct? Yeah, we're getting back the iterators here and here. Then we're creating a new vector result. And so I have to know what we're gonna change here. Actually, nothing. Okay. That's really interesting. So if we, in this case here, so we're ending up, if you have the 11 and 6, we have the 11 in the 6 case. So then this statement is not true, right? Because the left iterator is not smaller than the right iterator. So we're ending up here. Correct? And then we push backing and dereferencing the right iterator. That's what we're doing. That means, and this is the important quote here. Then we like, what is the correct wording for that? We're counting it one up, or how? What is the? We're increasing the iterator, right? So then we're reaching actually the end here, right? And that's why we coming in. This if statement will not get called. That's the reason why this if statement will be getting called. So and then what we're doing next is then we're gonna place it in the end, the left one, and that's the 11. But why need this statement? Because I have to define also the end, or what? Is this the reason? Can someone please explain? Is chat not working, or do you have trouble to understand the topic? Just kidding. Wait, actually I fucked up here a little bit. Huh, what is happening with the screen here? What the heck? I'll have to fix this quick. Going here quick. We're going. The chat will be here now. Okay, let's fix this quick. It's because of this here, maybe. It's because of that one. That's why you're not seeing everything. Got it. Okay, I can live with that. So Twitch chat, I need your help. Can you explain why we need array_left.end? Why we need this here? Can someone please explain? Oh, okay, I have to Google. The insert wants a range, so you have to give a begin and end iteration. But actually, I checked up 2 days ago. Someone explained it why I need it. Why I need? I thought the end will define or is defined like this way, that I will place in the end of result. I'm gonna replace the iterator left. Correct? That's what I'm doing. But why I have to do it another time here with the array left.end? So this here is explaining where I want to place the iterator left. And what is this here explaining? Okay, so that means Tausi. That means this here, just this statement is like, okay, I want to have on the position, also before the end, I want to have the iterator left, correct? And this here is just placing, what you said, like, it's just defining the end. Is this correct? Maybe I should read the definition of insert vector again. Ooh, the first parameter says where, yeah, and the second and the third says what you are inserting. Ah, okay. It's just saying, okay, I'm inserting the end of that one. I got it. Ah, I know why we need this. I remembering, guys. I remembering why we need this statement. Do you know why we need this statement? We not need it like for the 11.6 case. We not need it. Ah, I remembering now. I remember now. It's called remember now. Okay, I'm gonna explain. So if we have like the 11.6 case, right? So the first statement, what we have, like this here, is not true. Oh no, wait, this here is not true, right? First, not true. So that will be not true. Then we have second is true. That's why we have creating our new array and putting this here in. And then we're doing the same with that here. So for this case, it's not a problem, right? For this case, it's not a problem. And then we're returning it, and then we're returning it. Return. So for this case, it's not a problem. But for the next step, if we have, for example, 11.6 and I don't know, 5 and 4, something like this. If we want to create a new vector, right? That was this case, correct? It was exactly this case. That means we're starting from the beginning and we're going until the end, right? So we have first, if we have the right, we're starting with 11. Oh, okay, we would, wait, this is a bad, no, what I did, no! Wait 1 second, gonna fix it. This is a bad example. Really have to do it again. Wait. Whoa, it's bugged or what? Nice. No, okay, again. So I can't clean it now? Why? What's going on? Okay. We're doing this case. 4, 5, and then the 6, 11, right? And then we would combine it to a new one. And that would be 4, 5. And I mean, we have to iterate from the beginning to the end, right? From the beginning 4 to the end 5. And that's why we have the array underscore right. So it's just saying, okay, insert this stuff from 4 to 5, and then we're doing the same also from 6 to 11. And that's the reason, right? That's the reason. Not for the case 11.6, for the single case, but if we're going one step higher in the depth. And that's the reason. Now I'm again a little bit more confused. It's C++ is so funny. If you have the iterator, here it is the begin, right? That's the beginning here. So it would be the for, correct? And that's smaller than the right. Oh no, it's not on this. Are we doing it for every? Okay. It's a while loop. Okay. Yeah, then it's working. Because first we're pushing back here this one. So this is going here. And then this is going here. This we're doing also for then for the 6. And then for the 11. That's the reason why we have it like that. Is this correct? That's a really smart solution, by the way. From the guy yesterday, like here, also this here. Because then you're counting one up, the left side, and then you're calling one of these statements. This is a really nice solution. I like it, this approach. So tomorrow I will try to program this statement here by my own. This here. And then I'm gonna reprogram. Like if you're checking it, the insertion sort, the merge sort is not that big, right? I really like this solution actually. Okay, this is a little bit, this was my logic. Yeah, it's not that big actually. It's only 80 lines. It's like nothing, right? So I think it is. I will bring the stream to the end. Thanks a lot for watching. And probably, I don't know if I'm able to do a stream tomorrow, but I'm gonna try. And yeah, I'm out for the day. Thanks a lot for the support, guys. And for the help, of course. Bye-bye.